Hello and welcome to B&D. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the little bell for your notifications. Okay, I have pudding. This is my idea of how to make pudding. So let's have a look. And we have a large amount of ice cream with chocolate and strawberry sauce on. This is a mango mousse, just a small container. This is some melon, and to finish off I have a little bit of orange that I'll have at the end. So what am I going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to slice my mango into thinner slices from the chunks that they are. Because I'm going to mix them together. And instead of having a whole bit of melon with nothing else, we're going to work on putting it with a bit of the mousse and some ice cream on it. So, a little bit of crunch. Watermelon isn't cheap. It's about £3.50 for a whole watermelon. But since these have already been cubed up, then that's a little more expensive in the shops. It's nice and refreshing and light. So I'm going to eat my watermelon, mango, mousse, and ice cream. Slowly and delicately until it is all gone. And you have to say that. What do you think the value of just this pudding would be if you went anywhere else? I'm definitely not going to run out of ice cream before I run out of both my mango and mousse. Someone's bringing their trolley. So if you take it that just 2 scoops of ice cream is like £3 in most restaurants. And it used to be like £2.78. And with a spoons to get some ice cream with some crumble like biscuit on it. And once you start, we'll be gone in 2 seconds. You see, this is making me slow down and not eat it too fast. Oh, I do like that mango mousse. If you could eat enough puddings, then you could pay the £14 to come in here and get this and just have enough pudding to justify it. Especially when you look at some of the big puddings that cost them like £9 each. Only thing I'm missing is squirty cream on top. But that ice cream is really cooling down my throat. So I'm going to continue eating my ice cream. Just let it melt on my throat. So, see you in a minute. Okay, so we are back from having that dinner out, and I hope you could see that I want to know if you think that I didn't have as much as I did the last time, but I concentrated on certain aspects. Now, the idea was to get something between a Sunday dinner and a mixed grill. So all we're trying to say is in number of different meats. Now, I think I managed the number of different meats. I had two lots of dinner because I went back after the meat and I got noodles and the sweet and sour chicken with some chips and a freshly made naan. That was freshly made. They cooked it and sliced it up and put it into a dish so you could pick it out. So it wasn't bought, it was made there and then because he was physically rolling it out to make it when I was getting my roast beef dinner. Now, so let's try. It's very difficult for maybe you to judge the size of the meat and the portions on the plate, so I'm going to try and help there. If you take it, I had 2 slices of beef. Doesn't sound a lot, but they were thick cut. They were at least a centimetre thick, and there was 2 of them. So when you open them out and put them back side to side, I would think you may be approaching a between 3 and 5 ounce steak. It was medium rare, and it was delicious. There was only one tiny little edge of it where there was a little bit of the fatty, sinewy stuff. I cut that off anyway. The chicken, my cold chicken, that was part of technically the salad bit. I had 3 bits of that with the creamy sauce that came with it. And once again, these are proper size bits of chicken. So therefore, yeah, the sausage, as I said, it was crispy. It had a snap to its skin when you cut into it. I got 2 bits. They were a good centimeter thick as well. So with that, I think I had 4 bits of chicken, like salt and pepper chicken, which technically made up a battered chicken that goes with that. My small little rib, I got the small one because the last time it needs a little more steam, and I would think. But I didn't want to have too much of a harder spice. But as a whole, if you look at the plate, and the plate is probably a foot across, I did have quite a lot of different items on. I had about 6 mushrooms on. So yeah, it did mount up to how much was on the plate. After having that, I then, for my second plate, had the noodles. Let's put you down. Let's see if I can. So I had the noodles next. So noodles, a few chips. They were the masala spice chips, but there wasn't a lot of spice on. And as soon as they hit the sweet and sour sauce, which I got a good spoonful of the sauce itself, as well as about 7 bits of chicken. Then I picked up another 2 bits of the more of the spicy chili chicken that they had, and that went on. I did find the buttered chicken that was really spicy for me. A little too spicy because it started burning the back of my throat and I coughed a lot more. So I did leave that bit of chicken, but everything else on my plates were quite empty. Just the bone off the rib, that, and you've seen that from my plate one. So we went for the pudding. You've seen what I made up the pudding with. There was about 6, 7 bits of watermelon. That's probably about the portion size you would get in one of those little plastic containers of pre-cut watermelon. They're not cheap to start with, because as soon as you chop it up and put it in a plastic container, it seems to be worth a lot more. I had a large amount of ice cream. The only way I can judge size-wise for you is saying that if you get a car door ice cream tub, I had half of that, very close to about half of that with the ice cream, because it is really that nice. And of course, I had my mango mousse, which we've had previously. It is very rich, very out there. So yeah, you can tell me if you think that just those 2 main dish bits and that pudding was worth the £14. Because since I only had water, that was the full bill was £14. To me, I ate all of it and I liked all of it, and I definitely liked the pudding. But I think the size of my pudding is bigger than any pudding you would get at any place where you would pay at least £5 or £6 for it. So I would cost the price out for about £6 for my steak first plate, £4 for the second one, and £4 for my pudding. If you want to put down the comment if you think that is fair to how to value what was on the plates. To them, the ice cream doesn't cost that much to get, but it has a premium when it's made up, because no other place does it all that cheap anyway. And I certainly had more ice cream than what you would get in a McFlurry or that type of pudding size. And the ice cream stayed cold and frozen for far longer than a McDonald's one does. So I hope you liked that. That was technically 2 visits to the same restaurant. Looking at in the first one, we did a lot of tiny little things, but put together, that makes quite a large meal. And I was very full and needed a rest after it. This time I didn't eat quite as much, but I ate what came to what I would say if you went out to get a meal are reasonable portions. So with that, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.
Meow. Next time.